Turnabout is fair play. We take a picture of her. She takes a picture of us. That's part of the scenery, I'm sure, that you never noticed when you were coaching.
I didn't even know they had people that looked like that.
You learn all kinds of new things. There's a squib kick coming down to the far side to Farrell. He's up to the 30, 35, to the 38-yard line. That's the second time now that Ukrainians kicked very short.
The first time I wasn't sure if he had it planned, but watching that one, I'm sure he did. What he's doing is he probably feels that he's not going to get the ball into the end zone, so instead of letting one of the designated kickoff return men have the ball, he's going to kick it into the wedge and make one of the wedge men return it, who aren't really your best return men.
There's the book on the New Orleans scoring drive as you look at Dick Nolan. First and 10, 49ers with both wide receivers off to the left side. Wilbur Jackson straight up the middle. Now we were talking about the flex. And you might notice the cast on the left hand there of DeBerg. He cracked a bone in his wrist in the preseason.
Yes, he did. And I'll tell you, Steve DeBerg is a real tough person. You know, he cracked that wrist in the second preseason game. He played the following week with the cast on. He never missed a game. He never missed a play. And I'll tell you, that's something that has to be distracting to play with the cast.
Your type of guy. Second down, 9. DeBerg back to throw it. Little alley-oop pass. I don't think that was intended to be that way, but Solomon came down with it for a 10-yard pickup at the 47. I think someone hit DeBerg's arm and caused that thing to flutter up like it did.
Just as he was throwing the ball, he was hit. He really didn't mean to do that. I think he was just happy to get the ball off, though, and have one of his receivers catch it. That could just as easily have been an interception. R.C.
Owens is alive and well somewhere, probably looking in and looking back at the days.
Right here. We met him in the parking lot as we were coming in.
He was the master of the alley-oop, and that's what it took from Solomon to get that one down. First and 10 at the 48 of San Francisco. DeBerg going for all of it, and he's got a man wide open out there. Freddie Solomon had gotten behind everybody at the 10-yard line and couldn't quite reach it. Gray was back there defending, so was Tommy Myers.
That's the one thing that you never want to happen to your secondary is to have any pass receiver get behind him. Now, he did beat Gray on the post, but he also got behind Tommy Myers, which should never have happened. I'm sure Tommy Myers realized it.
Second and 10. That's a final score. Redskins over the Cardinals, 17-7. Little delay over the middle. Across the 50 to the 48-yard line. Linville Elliott, number 35. That'll set up a third down. 6 needed for the first down for San Francisco at the Saints 48. Now, you talk so much about this flex and the success in Dallas and everything. Why don't other teams use it?
I don't think other teams really understand it. I think it was developed in Dallas by Tom Landry and Dick Nolan. I think they understand it the best. Atlanta uses it sometimes. Kansas City used it when Paul Wiggins was there. But really, these two coaches know it best.
Meet the family of high-mileage 1980 Mercuries. Zephyr, Bobcat, Capri.
Come on in. Ease on down the road.
Ease on down with the high mileage ratings of Mercury Bobcat, one of America's lowest sticker prices. Zephyr, great mileage ratings with a lot of room for the money. Or Capri, mileage with a sexy European look.
Ease on down the road.
Meet the high mileage Mercuries at the Sign of the Cat.
Where's Merlin? Where did it go?
Jenny's got it playing tic-tac-toe.
Now where's Merlin?
When last seen it was out with Dad playing blackjack. 13.
Where's Merlin now?
It's not there. It's out with Billy playing Magic Square.
Merlin is a computer with personality. Plays 6 different games, talks with 20 sounds. 6 pen-light batteries not included.
Where's Merlin now? Better come clean.
In the kitchen with Mom playing music machine.
Merlin from Parker Brothers.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, look out for the return of the world's strongest men competition. The action-packed competition of the 79 Canoe Kayak World Championships and more. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Sports Spectacular next Saturday, highlighted by the world's strongest men competition. That is not one of the entries. Lots of interesting things. The Canoe and Kayak World Championships from up in Canada and the Pacific Gymnastics Championship. All in the CBS Sports Spectacular. 3rd down and 6. 49ers call timeout. They're at the 48 of the Saints. DeBerg throws it behind Linville Elliott, the intended receiver. A lot of pressure that time.
There was a lot of pressure, but that was the second 3rd down play that Steve DeBerg had an open man and didn't hit him. This time he was really under more pressure. He didn't like the play that was sent in on that 3rd down, so he called a timeout, went over to talk to Bill Walsh, and this is a play that they came up with. You can see that Linville Elliott had 2 or 3 steps on Pat Hughes, and it would have been a 1st down.
What you're saying is lousy pass, right?
Or pressure.
Pressure resulting in a lousy pass.
Right.
4th down. Rich Matty is deep. Melville to do the punting. Nice kick. Matty, the kamikaze of the Saints specialty teams, back at the 10, 15. Up to the 20, fights his way to the 25, and I think he lost it. Fumble on the play, the 49ers recover.
There's an interesting thing on that play, Frank, and I was surprised that Marty returned the ball because the Saints were up in a block. They were coming on a block. They had 10 men on the line of scrimmage. They all went after the punt, and then you really don't have the blocking when you do that. See, when Marty catches the ball, he was down there with very few blockers. And the 49ers, you can see, did a good job of coverage and tackling.
1st and 10. 49ers with a break here have the ball at the 26-yard line of the New Orleans Saints as they try to recapture the lead. Steve DeBerg at the throttle. He's 7 out of 12 for 74 yards. Again under pressure, running out of the pocket to the 25 and chased out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Elois Grooms, number 78, applying the pressure with an assist from Don Reese, number 60.
The 49ers were in 2 tight ends. I think after the turnover, they tried to show them a different formation that they weren't used to. Now, Steve DeBerg is not your great running quarterback. He's not a threat when he has the ball to run in his hands, as you can see there. He was just happy to get away without having a loss and get the ball out of bounds.
Gain of a yard on the play. It is 2nd down 9. 49ers at the 25 of New Orleans. Eddie Lewis hit and caused that fumble a little while ago. Look at this razzle-dazzle. Flea flicker. I'm sure they wanted to go long to either Schumann downfield or number 85, Paul Seal, but they were covered.
They had 2 deep men. Now, this is a play that you try and fool someone with. First they fake a sweep, and then they hand to Solomon coming around on a reverse. They fake that, pitch it back to DeBerg, and then you hope that you fool the defense. You hope that the secondary comes up to make the tackle on the run and that you have a man open downfield. New Orleans wasn't fooled on the play. They had very good coverage.
3rd and 9. You saw Brewer duck into the huddle with the play from the bench. 49ers 1 out of 5 in 3rd down conversions. That's a final score now. Kansas City 35-7. Blitz is on. DeBerg gets it away. Solomon for a touchdown. Myers was back defending, but they blitzed a ton of people, and DeBerg got it away in time. It was one-on-one coverage, and that was it.
That's where the inexperienced secondary came up. There was a motion man out there, and Schwartz and Gray weren't sure if they were supposed to stay man-to-man or switch off. They both ended up covering one person, the motion man, and no one covered Freddie Solomon.
Score tied now at 13 with the extra point try to come. And Wersching will try to put him in the lead.
That was what we talked about before the game, the inexperienced secondary, and there's a place where it shows.
Montana puts it down. The 49ers have recaptured the lead with 4 minutes and 17 seconds left to play in the first half. San Francisco out in front once again, 14-13. Short drive set up by the fumble by Monty. 26 yards, took him just 3 plays. And the touchdown pass at 25 yards from DeBerg to Solomon.
That was one of the things. The 49ers give a lot of formations. They give a lot of motion. They get in one and they switch. There's DeBerg now. He's very happy.
Tonight on CBS, be sure to watch the new exclusive interview with Johnny Carson on 60 Minutes. Then Archie Bunker's Place, Alice, the Jeffersons, and Trapper John M.D. Lots of fun and lots of entertainment tonight on CBS.
60 Minutes is one of my favorites. There's Freddie Solomon. He's really having a good year for the 49ers this year. He had a big game against the Rams last week, and he's coming back with another solid performance this week.
High kickoff, a little bit short. Rich Monty at the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Monty up to the 35 to the 36-yard line and bounced on that hard baseball infield by Jeff McIntyre, number 52.
Monty looked like he was trying to make up for that last fumble. He's a tough guy who runs hard and really works for his yardage. And sometimes those type of players, when they're trying to come up with a big play, they will get a fumble. But it's not because they're trying to fumble. It's just because they're working hard, they're moving, they're trying to get another yard or two, and they take a lot of hits.
First and 10. Now it's the Saints' turn to come back. They're down by 1. Manning is 11 out of 16 for 143 yards in less than a half. Muncy, gaping hole up the middle, and he drives through for the first down. That's called 12 yards in a cloud of dust out to the 47-yard line.
It's a real cloud of dust and a little cement mixed in, I think. That's a lead play now. Tony Galbraith led Muncy through the hole, and they really had good blocking and a big hole and opening on that play.
First and 10, Saints at their 47-yard line. Manning tried to set up the screen to Galbraith at the 40, 45, 50. Galbraith, great job of running. Look at this. Down to the 40, he could go. 30, 20. Galbraith to the 15-yard line. What a run. Charles Cornelius finally makes the stop. Now the question is how much of that was run, how much of it was poor tackling?
I was going to say it's a combination. It was about half and half. I think they had a few blocks out here in front. Galbraith makes some great moves in here, starting one way, going back the other. But the 49ers also missed some tackles, but I think you have to get credit for a great run here. This really was.
38 yards and a first down for the Saints at the 15 of the San Francisco 49ers. 2:35 left in the half. Got a whistle prior to the snap. 30-second clock had run down. Delay of game against the Saints. Jack Holmes is in the backfield for New Orleans. First time he's made an appearance thus far this afternoon.
Delay, offense, still first down.
That's one penalty that you sure hate to do. There's very little reason for it. They have a clock up there that shows the 30 seconds, and that's one that's upsetting, I know, for a team, and I'm sure Archie Manning and Dick Nolan both didn't like that.
That was Eddie Lewis, the defensive back of the 49ers, getting medical attention on the sidelines. First and 15 from the 20-yard line. Muncy up the middle. They're about the 18-yard line. You were telling me before about Manning, and the first time your ball club played Manning, he just ran all over the place. Huh?
That's why I said I thought he was always great. I remember we went down to New Orleans, and we were a fine team at that time, and we got into a game with them, and Archie was running all over the field. He was scrambling. He was holding the ball. As they take a timeout now, the 2-minute warning, and Archie walks over to the sideline to talk to Dick Nolan. But he was running all over the field. They had option plays and everything. As we were going off at halftime, I said, you know, you really shouldn't run that much. This is a National Football League. You're not supposed to do that. And that didn't affect him at all. He kept it up.
Beer tender, I'll have my favorite light beer.
Natural, sure. Want one for your friend?
My friend?
See, he doesn't have to call it Anheuser-Busch Natural Light, and he doesn't have to call it Anheuser Natural. Just say natural.
He said natural. He knows for a smooth, clean taste and a great light beer, people distinctly ask for natural by name.
Name? My name is Raymond J. Johnson, Jr. Now, you can call me Ray, or you can call me Jimmy.
I never worry about what brand name part my mechanic puts on my car. That doesn't make me a bad guy. I go to a professional mechanic I can trust, so I trust the parts he uses. He uses Mopar. It means nothing to me, but it means a lot to him. Mopar fits all American-made cars, foreign cars too, and they're used by professional mechanics all over the world. If the professional trusts Mopar, I trust Mopar. Does he make me happy? He makes it his business.
Trust your car to Mopar.
Frank Lieber, along with former Oakland Raider coach John Madden, in San Francisco, where the 49ers lead the Saints 14-13. 2 minutes to go in the first half, and the Saints are threatening to go back ahead again. Pretty good football game.
I tell you, it's a fine football game. As we said earlier, both of these teams have been involved in great games all year. They're very exciting. They're both exciting teams to watch.
Second down, 12. Ball is at the 17-yard line of the 49ers. That's Chandler in motion. Archie Manning goes to Harris, gets a block from Chandler to the 20, and down to the 15-yard line. I'll tell you, little Mr. Chandler threw a block that time.
That was. He ran out there, as you said. He came across the field in motion, and he went out there and blocked for Ike Harris. They're trying to get the ball to him short. There's a penalty on the field, though, a flag on the field. We'll see what this is.
It's one thing we've had a ton of so far this afternoon is penalties. Saints have been penalized 7 times for 45 yards. It's going to go against New Orleans. And apparently they had an ineligible receiver downfield.
I think that was caused by the motion. What happened is they got in a position over on the right side of the field that they had 3 receivers on the same side of the field, which made the inside man of the 3 ineligible, would have made the tackle on this side eligible.
And we'll get the official word here from the referee, Dick Jorgensen, as soon as he paces off the yardage. Move it back to the 27.
Ineligible downfield on the pass, number 79. Offense, still second down.
There was a guard, Emmanuel Sanders, who they called it on. Now second down and 22. You see the time left in the first half. Ball is back at the 27-yard line.
That's plenty of time for a lot of things to happen.
Here come the Saints. Archie Manning, hot afternoon again. He's completed 63% of his passes over his last 6 games going back into last season. He just picked up where he left off. Muncy caught behind the line of scrimmage. Good charge by Archie Reese. Number 78 of the 49ers broke up that play.
Archie Reese got penetration on that play. It was going to be a sweep with the under ball handling where Muncy gets between the line of scrimmage and Archie Manning. And what happened is Archie Reese penetrated and Muncy wasn't able to get started on a sweeping action. Now this brings down 3rd and a whole bunch.
Loss of 5, third down, 27. Ball is back at the 32. 49ers defense doing a number here. And, of course, the Saints are doing it to themselves because of the penalties as well. They stay on the ground, give it to Muncy again. Loose football, but the play had been whistled dead at the 37-yard line. That's another -5. Pretty good series for the San Francisco defense.
It sure was. They got down there, and, of course, there were a couple of penalties, but the 49ers also made something happen. Now, it's the second time in a row they swept once to the right and once to the left And both times, the thing that hurt him was penetration from the onside.
Clock is still moving with, well, now they stop it with 31 seconds to go in the half. San Francisco going to call a time as Partridge comes in to do the punting. Timeout here with the 49ers leading the Saints by a score of 14-13. Partridge has had to punch just once this afternoon. They picked him up on waivers this week with Erxleben out. There's Bill Walsh. Why is it he looks so distinguished and you never look that neat on the sidelines?
Well, I think the silver hair and the bald spot do it.
The bald spot?
Yeah. The silver hair, the bald spot, and the glasses. See, I didn't have any of those things. Maybe a little bald spot, but I didn't have the silver hair and the glasses. The other thing, he's probably a lot better looking and a lot thinner.
You could have got the glasses. You realize that?
I don't know if I could have gotten that thin and that gray, though.
Partridge back to do the punting with 31 seconds left in the half. Solomon is deep for the San Francisco 49ers. Joining him back there is Tony Dungy. Partridge is standing on his own 48. High kick angling to the near sidelines. Bounces at the 5 and out of bounds at that point. Not bad. Not bad at all.
That's about right where he wanted to put it. He wasn't too happy with the first punt he had. He only punted it 27 yards. But this is what he really wanted to do. You want to get the ball and back the 49ers up. They only have 23 seconds to go, and they do have 2 timeouts, but I'd be surprised if they do anything other than just run the clock out from this position.
Linville Elliott is in the backfield. O.J. has not played that much this half. I don't know if he got bumped up a little when he was hit hard earlier or not. He's on the sidelines, walking around a little bit. But he has not been that effective. It's Jackson and Elliott in there right now. Jackson out to about the 9-yard line for a pickup of 4, and unless somebody calls time, that will do it for the first half of play here at Candlestick.
O.J.'s knee has really never recovered from the initial surgery, Frank. And then last week he had another knee injury to the same knee. It was a muscle. He hurt his shoulder last week, and he didn't practice either Friday or Saturday this week. So I was surprised that we even saw him as much as we did. I wasn't even sure if he'd play at all.
Clock is run out here in the first half with the 49ers leading the Saints 14-13. San Francisco defense rising to the occasion here in the last couple of minutes and slowing down the New Orleans advance, preventing them from going in for either the field goal, which would have put them ahead, or the touchdown. That's it at halftime here at Candlestick, and we'll be back shortly.
You work hard for your money, and you want to do the right things with it. So get professional answers to confusing financial questions like these.
I've got about $1,000 to invest. I've heard about savings certificates, government notes, and other things. I'm single. What's best for me?
What's best for you? Your full-service bank has the answers.
We paid the mortgage on our house down to a small amount, while the market value of the house skyrocketed. Would it be smart at our age to remortgage and use the money in some other way?
There's a lot to consider. But once again, see your full-service bank. They've got the answers.
On our vacation, we're going to look for a condominium.
Yeah, but how'll I make the down payment away from home?
When you need answers to questions like these and the services to back them up, you've got them when you bank behind this symbol. America's full-service banks. We've got the answers.
The last kind of trouble a cop needs is car trouble. He needs tough auto parts he can depend on.
That's why Motorcraft quality oil filters from Ford were tested tough in 63 big city cop cars from GM, Chrysler, and Ford. After a total of 1 million miles, only 2 filters couldn't take the punishment.
These Motorcraft filters got guts. When you need an oil filter, don't ask for trouble. Ask for Motorcraft.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, look out for the return of the world's strongest men competition. when the big men vie for the title in the barrel lift, bar bend, and more tests of strength. Then it's action-packed international competition at the 1979 Canoe Kayak World Championships from Quebec as challengers take on each other and the wild water. Plus, a preview of the Pacific Invitational Gymnastic Championship. We'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Welcome back to Candlestick Park in San Francisco, California. I'm Frank Lieber, along with former Oakland Raiders head coach John Madden. Very exciting first half of football.
It sure was. We expected that type of thing. We said that both teams have been very exciting all year, and there's no change in the first half. And this second half is going to be a big thing.
Well, the passing game, as you mentioned, did play a big part in that first half. Neither team had trouble moving the ball.
No, they both passed well, and I think a few of the things we talked about, one is having to cover West Chandler by the 49ers. The other is the Saints having to adjust to the 49er formations, which they didn't do one time, and it resulted in a touchdown.
We have a couple of guests we want you to meet here at halftime. One is down in the field. He's a gentleman who played for both the Saints and the 49ers in the past, and that is linebacker Skip Vanderbucht, and Skip is in business now in the Sacramento area. Good to have you out here, Skip.
Thank you, Frank. It's good to be here.
Can you hear us?
You bet. It's good to be here. Thank you very much.
Well, hello, Skip. Can you hear us?
Yeah, Frank.
Oh, okay. This is Frank Lieber along with John Madden upstairs.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be here. Believe me, I don't know exactly who to root for in this ball game. My heart's kind of with both ball clubs, but I probably lean towards the Saints because the 49ers have had such a changeover.
Not many guys left on that ball club, huh, from when you played?
No, that's right. On the defensive squad, Jimmy Webb and Cedric Hardman are the only two I've ever played with.
Skip, you're down on the field. Have you gone on the field and seen the infield and the new grass? How does that compare to what you played on when you were here at Candlestick?
Well, Coach, I'm a little with you. I hate that AstroTurf, and this is super. I think this probably would have, if they'd have done this a few years earlier, we'd have had a lot of ball players in the 49ers that would not have ended their careers when they had, because it's just great. It really is. The infield's a little rough with the dirt, but you know, this turf down here is just outstanding. It's as nice a turf grass field that I've ever seen.
That infield is as hard as a rock, though. You got to admit it, isn't it?
Oh yeah, nobody ever enjoys playing it. You know, we always used to play the Raiders. We always used to have a toss-up as to who was going to throw Biletnikoff down in the infield because all the stickum that he had on his hands and feet.
You thought that he'd never be able to get back up. He'd have to stay there, huh?
That's right. All you had to do is catch him.
What do you think of the ball game so far?
Well, it's pretty much like I expected, to be honest with you. I think both defensive teams are young and they're struggling a little bit, but both offenses are coming together. San Francisco's with Bill Walsh, you know, as innovative as he is. He's got 49ers doing a lot of things that are going to score a lot of points and run up some yardage. Whereas the Saints have got a veteran offensive unit that have worked together, and Archie Manning, I think, just coming into his own. So I think you've got two real good offenses against two real young defenses, and that's so far what's happened.
49ers are still a few years away, though, wouldn't you say?
Well, I tell you, I don't know. I've told a lot of people this year that they're going to be 8-8, and I'm not sure that they won't be, even with the slow start that they've got. Here you've got two real good young teams that are going to come on. You know, the Saints aren't out of it either. They're an excellent football team.
Skip, thanks very much for spending a few minutes visiting with us. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much, Frank.
I'm sure all your friends, not only in the San Francisco area, but in the New Orleans area, very happy to see you and hear from you. We'll continue with our halftime activities from Candlestick after this word from your local station.
It's my hat, and I'm dumping it.
Archie's new partner is Jewish, and you know what that means.
You ate my pot!
Archie Bunker's Place premieres tonight.
This is CBS.
Score 12 points. You know, kicking game is rather. How can a guy miss an extra point?
Yeah. Well, Marty, even returning that one, I was surprised because they had the block on. They had 10 guys up.
I was just going to comment how great of a run he made when he fumbled the ball. Because he was trapped back there. How he
didn't have any blockers back.
I know, with no blockers. That's what I was saying. second game in Green Bay, he rushed for 112 yards and 3 quarters.
Okay. Then we lead into just a regular spot after this, huh? Welcome back to Candlestick Park in San Francisco, California. We're at halftime with the 49ers leading the Saints 14-13, and John Madden and I have been joined in the booth with yet another gentleman who has played on both these football teams, Danny Abramowitz, one of the Saints' all-time great receivers who wound up his career in San Francisco. And you were pointing out something, Danny. I didn't realize that the Saints had not fumbled the football this year up until today.
Up until today, they really hadn't fumbled the football at all. Mistakes have hurt them in the past. What I mean by mistakes is penalties and things of that nature, some interceptions. Archie Manning has 5 interceptions, but the offense hadn't been the problem up until this point. They've moved the ball on every football team, but unfortunately the defense couldn't stop the other team.
This day, though, your defense seems to be shaping up a bit. Huh?
They're putting a great rush on Steve DeBerg, and this game, the Saints should be ahead, I think, at least by 14 points at this point.
Danny, does this game remind you of the Green Bay game?
Yes, it really does remind me of the Green Bay game. They had like 285 yards total offense in the first half and only had 12 points. And one of the reasons they had to use Tony Galbraith to kick extra points and field goals and Chandler as their punt man, and they continuously stayed in bad field position.
People in New Orleans getting a little restless right now. Obviously, they figure this team should be off to a better start than it has.
13 years. A person was telling me the other day, he said he felt like he's been in a time capsule for 13 years, woke up and nothing's changed.
That's awful.
That is a shame, because they really have basic good people there, and Dick Nolan is a fine coach. He had me out here at San Francisco, and he's a winner. It's going to just take time. I think one of the problems with the New Orleans Saints is they really don't know how to win, and John Madden can attest this. His great Oakland Raider teams, they knew how to win. They came back and they did what they knew what it took to win the game. These guys, I don't think they realize what it takes to win a football game.
Coach, what does it take to get over that fine line?
Sometimes, you just have to get the first one. I think that's what they're looking for. I know we were talking last night, and they said that a year ago here at Candlestick, they turned it around, they beat the 49ers, and then they went on. I kind of think that's what they're looking for, is maybe a win, something that they can build on.
One thing I want to ask you about, Danny, from a personal standpoint, I couldn't help but notice that Mr. Carmichael from Philadelphia is now moving up on your record of games in which he has caught consecutive passes. 105, is it? And he's how far away now?
Right. He has 99, and like a lot of people that have records have, man, I wish him all the luck. Well, I hope he gets to 104 and doesn't break it, but if he does, I think he's one of the top 3 receivers in the league, and he deserves it. He's a great threat, and being 6'8" really helps out a lot also.
That is a tremendous record, and reflects on what a great career you have. Thanks for visiting with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Frank.
Danny Abramowitz, the former New Orleans Saint and also San Francisco 49er, here at halftime of the San Francisco-New Orleans game. San Francisco leads it 14-13.
What do you have?
He wants an Anheuser-Busch natural light beer.
Hey, just say natural. That way he won't have to move his lips so much.
Okay, a natural. This guy real?
You know, for a piece of wood, you speak with remarkable clairvoyance.
Yeah? What's your excuse? Les. Hey, man, I apologize.
Forget it. Anyone so appreciatory of natural, smooth, clean taste is okay by me.
Just remember to say natural next time.
Must be hard working with this dummy.
Oh, he's all right.
The AC Spark Plug, buy 7, get 1 free sales on right now. Participating outlets where you see this poster.
Thanks, AC.
Americans are learning that if their car's plugs are misfiring, a tune-up with new AC Spark Plugs can help improve gas mileage. Thanks, AC. Now's the time to tune up because AC Delco is making it possible for you to get 8 AC Spark Plugs for the price of 7.
Thanks, AC.
Tune up with AC. Buy 7, get 1 free.
Thanks, AC.
For most of us, the zoo, there's 1,000 sounds, but not for these children. They are deaf. I'm Joe Fettersbill from the New Orleans Saints, and these are some of the children of the Bright School. It's a United Way agency. supported by a lot of volunteers who care. Try to imagine what it's like to learn to talk when you can't hear. It made me think, what if my children were born deaf? Here, there's hope. They teach the children how to talk and their parents how to communicate with them. These children will grow up happy and productive because there's people who care. Let me tell you, I've seen the wonders that volunteers make possible and the love they receive in return. They make the United Way work here, and it'll work in your town too. Thanks to them and thanks to you, it works for all of us the United Way.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. Halftime activities continuing here at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, with the 49ers leading 14-13 in the tight game that we thought it would be. Looking ahead to the second half now, what do you think?
Well, I really think what we thought before the game, that it's still going to be secondary and coverage. And after the first half is over, now I'm thinking that maybe the team that doesn't make any mistakes or makes the least amount of mistakes is going to win this game, because there's been a number of turnovers, and this is a thing that has plagued both teams in the first half.
All right, let's take a look at some of the other scores around the National Football League here at halftime. Of course, many of these games played in the East long since final. Detroit winning its first game of the year, beating Atlanta 24-23. Minnesota toppling the Green Bay Packers in another tight contest, 27-21. Pittsburgh coming from behind to beat Baltimore 17-13. All final scores. And more. Houston trailed 24-0 in the first half of this game, rallied and beat Cincinnati in overtime 30-27. Joe Ferguson had a field day for Buffalo, throwing 6 touchdown passes, beating the Jets 46-31. And New England handed San Diego its first loss of the season by a score of 27-21. NFC Eastern Division, Washington continues hot on the heels of Dallas, beating the St. Louis Cardinals 17-7. And I'll let you comment on this one.
Kansas City 35, Oakland 7. Now that's a real surprise. I really didn't anticipate that. I knew Kansas City in Kansas City was always tough on us, Frank, and that went back to the days of Hank Stram and Lenny Dawson and Otis Taylor and Buck Buchanan and all the great games that we had. And no matter what their team or what their record or what their year, we always had a very difficult time in Kansas City. But I didn't think it would be anything like that.
Miami and Chicago in the third period. That game started the same time ours did, with the Dolphins leading 10-6. Good football game. And how about this one at halftime?
This is one, you know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are really strong. I think that they're a legitimate contender in that NFC Central, and I think that they're proving it today. You know, now they're playing a team that is a playoff team, the Los Angeles Rams, and being ahead at halftime, 21-6.
Tampa Bay leading at halftime. Philadelphia over the Giants at halftime, 14-6. The Giants continue to have their problems. Tampa Bay and Dallas, you know, the only unbeaten teams left in the NFC, and then 4 teams in the AFC, at least going in today. Marty fielding the opening kickoff here in the second half at the 5. Carries it back to the 15-yard line and drops just shy of the 20. Pretty solid hit there by the San Francisco 49ers. That's where we are as we start the third period of play. 14-13. Gary Premium missed an extra point. That's been the difference.
It's all going to happen in this second half. Both teams 0-3 coming into this half. One of the teams is going to go off the Candlestick field disappointed, maybe even frustrated. The other team is going to be very happy with their first victory, and we had a penalty on that.
It's a clipping call against the New Orleans Saints, which will move it back to the 10-yard line. Saints have been officially penalized 9 times for 65 yards. But, of course, keep in mind that the 49ers have refused a few of those penalties as well. Chandler to the right side. Ike Harris split to the left. Muncy ran hard in the first half. He picks up 6 on that carry to the 16-yard line. Archie Manning in the first half, 12 out of 17 for 181 yards.
Tony Galbraith made a nice block on that play. Tim Gray came up to support, and Galbraith just got into him and turned him right out. Muncie was able to cut inside. It was a nice block by Tony Galbraith.
Second down. Saints need 4 for the first down. Ball is at their 16-yard line. Galbraith stopped short of the 20-yard line. Not enough for the first down. It'll be third down, short yardage coming up. Galbraith gained 82 yards, as high for last year in the first of 2 meetings between these two clubs.
Say Archie Manning is there waiting for his 2 tight ends to come in, and he'll be in his short yardage offense now, trying to pick up this first down.
I say it's close enough for measurement. Tip of the ball could be covering that 20. Let's see as they bring in the change from the far side. That is close.
Well, that's about as close as you can get.
1.5 inches, maybe 2. Third down.
I was always upset when the referees made that sign.
Why?
Well, I thought they were telling everyone in the stadium and everyone watching on television that's all they have to go. Especially it was 4th down and you had to send your punting team in.
They're out there trying to embarrass you, John. That's what it was.
I used to just tell them, you don't have to say how much we have to go. Either it's a first down or it's not. That's all you have to do.
Third and inches. New Orleans 4 out of 6 on third down conversions. Pretty good percentage. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm sure he got it. All he had to really do was break that plane to the 20-yard line, and he got up in there. He made a quick takeoff and got into it very quickly, and he was over the line initially. They won't even measure this one.
Well, they spotted at the 21. Actually, give him a little bit more. It looked like he got. First and 10 for the New Orleans Saints at the 21-yard line. They're into the field. They're playing catch-up here, trailing 14-13. Archie Manning has a career record of 3-7-1 against the 49ers. Of course, New Orleans won twice last year. Archie slipping and dragged down by Cedric Hardiman at the 13-yard line. Old Nasty came through with a big rush that time.
He sure did, and the interesting thing is we see here he lined up as a linebacker. Cedric Hardman wasn't on the tackle, on the line of scrimmage. He was outside in the normal linebacker location, and he shot from that position.
So a loss on the play back to the 13-yard line. It'll be second down, 18. Saints trying to get it revved up here in their first possession of the second half. Good protection this time. He lays it out there for Chandler. Chandler makes the grab at the 50, and look out! Wes Chandler at the 20, at the 10. He is dragged down at the 2-yard line.
I'll tell you, that's a big play. You know, when you can get a sack and come off that and come back and throw a big pass like that to Wes Chandler, who's sitting there, looked like he was thrown down right in the dirt there, and you hate to see that.
That's an 85-yard pass play, and Chandler is hurting, and that would be a big blow. Let's look at it again. This pass a little bit underthrown. He had to come back for it.
It was. Plus there were 3 defenders right there. There was just one receiver, Wes Chandler. He was surrounded, as we can see right here, by 3 defenders, but he was the one that got up in the air and got the ball. He's a great athlete. Not only can he catch it, but running with it, anytime he gets his hands on the ball, he's a threat to go all the way, as he was on that play.
Give Cornelius a little credit, number 28, who ran him down and made the stop, threw him down hard in the dirt. Take a look at it again from the end zone. You see him come back a little bit.
That's
85 yards.
There was really no defensive reaction on that. They looked like they were happy that they had 3 defenders out there, but none of them did anything about it. The only player that really aggressively went for the ball was Wes Chandler. Wes Chandler is still down on the sidelines.
Very close to getting across. The officials will mark it at the 2-yard line. 49ers, to a lot of people, have been the most impressive 0-3 team in football this year. If you can be impressive being 0-3, because they played 3 divisional champions, played them all tough, led them at one point in the game, got behind, rallied in the last quarter in each game, and almost pulled it out. But it's still 0-3 up there on the board. Time out of the field.
I think the Saints are also one of the most impressive 0-3 teams. We have both of them here today.
Everybody knows small cars save gas. Yeah! But we Duffies need more room. Yeah! So the Duffies are here on the Incredible Ford Factory Tour to find out what incredible things Ford is doing for the Duffies. Yeah! Children, this is Ford Motor Company's incredible new gas-saving automatic overdrive transmission. Repeat.
Incredible automatic overdrive transmission.
Roger.
This is the first transmission of its kind in any American car.
Susie?
At about 40 miles an hour, it shifts into overdrive automatically.
Julie?
That makes your engine work less, so it uses less gas. Yeah!
But the most incredible news of all is that they made this transmission available in Duffy-sized cars like this Ford LTD wagon. Katie?
Ford, that's incredible.
To take the incredible Ford factory tour, write us for information.
It's the World Series of Golf. Next Saturday and Sunday, the best of world-class players shoot for the title in the World Series of Golf. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
The NFL's league leading receiver, Wes Chandler, being tended to on the near sideline in obvious pain. And that's what he's done so far this afternoon. That is some total that he has compiled thus far on the year. Take a look at it again as he is whipped down by Cornelius, the defender, as he tried to get across the goal line. Now, you don't think it's a knee, or?
No, I really don't think it's a knee. I hope it's not a knee. Wes Chandler is a great player, and he's really coming into his own this year. As you say, he was leading the NFC in receptions, and you hate to see this. He's being carried off the field now on the 49er golf cart type thing, and I hope it's not a knee. It looked like it could be a pulled muscle or a groin, and I hope that's what it is as compared to a knee.
Well, we'll check for you, and we'll get the word back to you in just a very few minutes. Also, we get word that Willie Harper of the 49ers has gone to the locker room to x-ray some ribs. He's had some problems with his ribs this year.
Yeah, he hurt
banged up again.
He hurt his ribs last week against the Rams, and then again today. There's Dick Nolan, and he's looking very concerned, and rightly so. Yeah, you know, anytime as a coach or as a fan or anyone really, anytime you see any player injured, it's concerning. But when you have one of your top players who's a young player really coming into his own, you just hate to see this happen. And we sure hope he's all right.
We'll get the word and pass it along to you, so stay in tune. As we get back to play here, it'll be 1st and goal to go from the 2-yard line for the Saints. Coming up next week on CBS, a full schedule of regional games, including Minnesota, Detroit, the Giants in New Orleans, and Washington, Atlanta. And then these three. 1st and goal to go. Let's see if the Saints can push it across and reclaim the lead. Archie Manning slips it to Galbraith, driving over the right side, fighting his way, loses the ball.
49ers recovered.
San Francisco has recovered. How about that? The Saints had not fumbled the ball all season until today.
I think they may have blown the ball dead, Frank, before the fumble. I think when he hit in there on the goal line, they may have whistled the ball dead because they're going to give it back to the Saints. As we see here, when his forward progress was stopped, they may have blown the ball at that point before he started back to this side and fumbled.
Of course, we can't hear the whistle up here, quite obviously, so you don't know exactly when that whistle blew. But it's a break for New Orleans. Loss of a yard on the play. 2nd and goal from the 3. Archie Manning on the rollout. Oh, by himself for 6 points, an easy touchdown, is Larry Hardy, number 87. Backup tight end.
That was a play. As we see here, he fakes the ball to Chuck Muncie, diving in. The tight end blocks, delays, and then goes out to the corner. Now, Archie, after he fakes, he's going to roll out a bootleg to this side, as we see here. If the defender comes up, then Archie's going to throw the ball to the tight end. If the defender stays back, then Archie would have had the option to run the ball in for the touchdown.
Your premium, extra point effort. It's good. A 90-yard drive. It took him 7 plays, 85 coming on the pass from Manning to Chandler, and the Saints lead it 20-14.
Antifreeze. You never think about it, or how it has to protect somebody beside you, or what could happen without it. Stranded, and no help for miles. Don't trust your luck. Don't trust the weather. Take out old, weak antifreeze now and put your trust in Prestone, too. More people trust Prestone than all other brands combined.
We made it.
More people trust Prestone. And when you flush your cooling system, trust Prestone Super Flush.
Come on. Who's buying the beer tonight? Let's take turns. I'm on that side.
Bush. Sunset, the time of day when you don't just reach for a beer. You head for the mountains. Bush.
There's Chandler being worked on the sidelines. The preliminary indication is that it's a problem with his ribs and also his thigh. He's having trouble putting his weight on his leg. We'll get more a little bit later. James Owens, the Olympic sprinter, 15, 20, 25, up to the 30-yard line. Owens, star at UCLA, finished 6th in the 110-meter hurdles in the last Olympics, and he can fly.
Ken, he's going to be a good prospect for the 49ers in the future.
90-yard drive. This missed extra point makes things rather interesting, doesn't it, the rest of the way?
It always does. You know, when that happens, it's either going to come back to haunt you someplace or you worry that it's going to the whole game.
1st and 10, 49ers at their 31-yard line. Saints leading by 6. DeBerg doing a little positioning of his tight end, Paul Seal. Starts him in motion. Solomon on the end around, cuts back up the middle to the 36-yard line, pickup of around 5 on the play.
Again, the 49ers had 2 tight ends in the game, plus Freddie Solomon lined up tight, and they're trying to get an adjustment from the Saints so that they can start one way and then come back the other way. They've been doing that a lot on first down, and I wouldn't be surprised if later if they start to pass from 2 tight ends in the game on first down. OJ's back in there.
They picked up 6 at his 2nd and 4. Here's Simpson. 40, 45, and up to the 47-yard line. O.J. Simpson's longest gainer of the afternoon. Tommy Myers made the stop. It's a first down. That got the crowd going a little bit.
It sure did.
O.J., of course, is still out trying to catch Jim Brown's all-time career rushing record of 12,312. He needs like a 1,500-yard year, which sounds a little bit too much. But he's very close to 11,000 yards. He needs 108 yards rushing to become only the 2nd man in the history of the NFL to gain 11,000 yards career-wise. DeBerg over the middle to Freddie Solomon. First down at the Saints' 40-yard line.
Well, they started. I was anticipating that they'd start throwing a little more on first down. You see, that was a fake trap. He faked the ball to O.J. going up the middle to hold the middle linebacker, and then he brought Freddie Solomon, in behind him.
49ers on the move. And has been back and forth most of the afternoon. They trail right now 20-14, but they're marching at the Saints' 40-yard line. DeBerg to O.J. Simpson. Simpson trying to wriggle out of the grasp of the tackler to the 38-yard line. Of course, one of the big questions now is whether Simpson will continue beyond this season.
I would anticipate that he doesn't. We can see here he really can't plant on that one leg, and he really has difficulties. You see where he lifted his left leg up and just kind of held it suspended in the air. And it's tough enough in this hard dirt to plant anyway, but it's really tough when you have a leg that's bothering you, as O.J.'s is.
You know, O.J. is now the Ted Kennedy of pro football. The big question is, will he or won't he run in 80? Intended for Francis, number 48, who has just come into the ball game. He was out there.
That's the third time that Steve DeBerg has had receivers open and missed them. Twice he threw in front of him or over the head a little too long, and then once he threw behind them. And I'm sure that's bothering him now. And Bill Walsh, because they have had some people open, and Steve DeBerg just hasn't gotten the ball to him.
DeBerg is 9 out of 16 for 114 yards. Third down, 8 from the 38 of the Saints. Intended for Schumann at the 23-yard line, and again overthrown. Schumann had caught a couple of touchdown passes late in the game against Los Angeles last week. Don Schwartz was back defending.
As Steve DeBerg comes off the field, I'm sure he's thinking about the second down play, because that could have been a big one. That would have been a score.
Not quite in field goal range for Wersching, who is one of the better field goal kickers around. So the 49ers will have to punt. Melville standing back in his 47. Monty is deep on the Saints 10. Nice high kick. Monty lets it sail on over his head and into and out of the end zone for the touchback. So the Saints will get the ball back at their own 20-yard line with 8:27 left in the third period. They lead 20-14.
Radio Shack has slashed the price on one of our top-of-the-line stereo systems. Right now, save $310 on this impressive realistic hi-fi. You get this quality AM/FM stereo receiver, a pair of realistic tower speakers, and this precision belt drive turntable, all for only $579. A great entertainment bargain and a beautiful addition to your home. The sale price realistic stereo system, just $579, only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
It's Ford Truck Week, the biggest clearance offer in Ford truck history. The best-selling trucks of the 70s must make way for the new 80 Ford trucks. Previously announced factory incentives to Ford dealers.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, look out for the return of the world's strongest men competition. The action-packed competition of the 79 Canoe Kayak World Championships and more. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
There's some of the cheerleaders. The 49ers utilize high school cheerleaders from around the area. There's Chandler being tended to over there. Still a little hard to tell, isn't it?
Now, they're still working on him. It looks like the upper part of the leg and the upper thigh or groin area that the trainer's working on there.
First and 10, Saints at their 20-yard line. Archie Manning, 14 out of 19, 264 yards, giving to Galbraith. He spins his way out to around the 25 or 26, pick up at 6 yards on that play.
That was a misdirection play. Chuck Muncie went the opposite way to the right. Archie handed to Tony Galbraith coming back to the left, and it picked up good yardage. This is what you want to do on first down. You like to get in these situations of 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, and play from there. You hate to be that 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 3rd and long.
Second down, 4. Pitch to Muncie. Galbraith leading the interference. And Muncie stopped short of the first down. Raced the 27. Good penetration by Dan Bunz, number 57, the middle linebacker, to make the stop.
The Saints have been successful on their first down runs and then they've had trouble sustaining it. They haven't been real good on second down runs, and then they've had to come back and pass on third down.
3rd down and 2 as you get a look at both of the coaches of this afternoon's game. Bill Walsh in the red, Dick Nolan in the gold.
Both looking for their first.
Muncy gets the call. Another penalty flag is down. He did not pick up the yardage for the first down. It was Scott Hilton, number 55, outside linebacker of the 49ers, who made this ball club this year. Didn't ever go to college, as a matter of fact. Penalty is against the Saints, and the indication does show that they did not pick up the first down. Certainly the 49ers will refuse it. Pulled groin muscle is the word we get now in Chandler. You analyzed that pretty good, Dr. Madden.
I did. I saw when he was thrown to the turf, it looks like he did the splits, and that's usually what happens on that type of action is you get the groin pull, and there's no good injury in football, you know, but a groin is a lot better injury for Wes Chandler now than a knee would be.
Obviously. Knee had cost him the year. Groin, what, several weeks?
It depends on how bad. If it's a pull, it'll be 2 or 3 weeks. If it's a tear, it could be lengthy.
Measurement here. Saints got awful close to picking up that first down, and the 49ers want to be sure before they decide whether or not to take the penalty. It obviously was a first down because they took the penalty.
Offside, offense, left side of the line, lined up offside. Still 3rd down.
That's another one of those penalties, you know, taking too much time, lining up offsides. Those are the kind that really drive a coach to ulcers.
Tighten it up! Watch an air ball! Spoken like a man who's had one. 3rd down, 7.
Air ball, air ball, air ball!
Archie Manning delivers the football for Muncy. And he gets enough for the first down at the 45-yard, make it the 35-yard line. Scott Hilton running him out of bounds.
Archie Manning has been very impressive today, and taking these 3rd down passes that he's hit. He's had a number of 3rd down passes that he's made into first down, and to me that's the real signal of a great quarterback who can do it when everyone knows that he has to do it. He's 15 for 20 today for 282 yards.
That's not bad when you consider we're still only in the middle of the 3rd period. Galbraith, big hole over the left side. And Galbraith has another first down as he rushes out to the 49-yard line. Tony Dungy, number 27, on the stop.
You see, there's real good blocking on this play. It was cross-blocking by the Saint lineman. Galbraith was the fullback in the I formation, the first man through. He just hit the hole just as it was opening and made another big first down run. They've been very good all day on first down runs.
Saints are driving, or rather, now at the 48-yard line in their end of the field. They lead by a score of 20-14. Muncy. Big hole for Muncy to the 40. Dungy trying to drag him down from behind, and finally does at the 15-yard line. Great blocking up front, particularly by Conrad Dobler, number 66, who opened the hole.
Conrad got out there a little, and then he looked like he hesitated just before he made the block that sprung Chuck Muncy. Right there was a little hesitation, and then boom, he went in and he got his man, and that was the block that sprung Chuck Muncy for the long run. Although the 49ers are not tackling today like a good defensive team. Of course, Chuck Muncy has a little to do with that.
Absolutely. 1st and 10. Saints at the 14-yard line of San Francisco. Manning looking right. Recent hot pursuit to Muncy at the 10, and Muncy is down to the 7-yard line, out of bounds. Cornelius, number 28 on the stop. Pretty good recovery by Archie Manning.
He can still run a little, can't he? He was trying to throw that same pass that he threw earlier to Chandler for a touchdown. As you see him looking to his right, and then He wasn't open, so then he tried to come back to his left and was rushed, went back to his right and found Chuck Muncy.
Pickup of 7. It'll be second down 3 for the Saints at the 7-yard line. Muncy's getting a rest. Coming into the ball game is Mike Strong, number 33, for the first time this afternoon. Galbraith to the 5. Down to the 4-yard line. That'll be very close for the first down. Ed Gallagher, number 75, and Tim Gray in the stop.
This is the same type of action that the Rams had success against the 49ers last week. They start their fullback running the power off tackle to one side, and then he cuts back against the grain, as we see here. See, Tony Galbraith started off to the right, cut back to the left, and found an open hole. It's third and short yardage, and they're bringing in their 3 tight ends for their short yardage offense.
Saints leading 20-14. It's been a battle. We have 4 minutes, 11 seconds left to play in the third period. Manning leads him up to the line of scrimmage. Triple tight end setup. Third down, inches needed for the first down, 4 for the touchdown. Galbraith bounced back, but he only needed a foot or less for the first down, and he got it. It'll be first and goal to go from the 3. Again, Gallagher on the stop. So the Saints are knocking on the door, trying to pick up what would be their biggest lead of the afternoon.
You better.
As head coach Dick Nolan looks on. Galbraith got a yard to the 2, and then was shoved back again by Gallagher. He's had quite a series of downs.
That's right. He tried to cut back again on this one. He started off, and then he tried to cut back again against the pursuit, and the 49ers were right there. I wouldn't be surprised if Archie came back with that play that he got the last touchdown with on the goal line, the fake trap and the bootleg here. That'd be a good call in this situation.
No, so the ball is just outside the 1-yard line. Second down, goal to go. Galbraith over the middle. He scores. Dwayne Board trying to stop him, but to no avail.
All the Saint offensive linemen had a good fire out on that play. They all fired out and worked down to the inside like a wedge play. And Galbraith just came in and went up over the pile. There he goes off the field. He's had a good day today also. Both of those Saint backs are running well today. I'm sure that Tony's upset with himself on those 2 fumbles he had.
Little breathing room now for the New Orleans Saints here in the third period with 2:33 left. 26-14, and Yepremian on to make it 27.
Well, the 49ers have come back in this situation in their last few games. We can see if they can do it again today.
Fist buds for all the people who make the sidelines a part of the show.
Fist buds for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
Fist buds for you.
Selling an insurance policy is one thing, but giving you good service is another. And State Farm agents can do that. Whether it's your life, health, home, or car insurance, the information you need is right at our fingertips. If you have a claim, your agent will get it started for you. Fast, friendly, good neighbor service. That's State Farm.
For your life, your health, your home, and your car. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
There's our score here in the third period. Saints out on top. Miami and Chicago have now gone to the fourth period with the Dolphins leading by a score of 24-9. Euphraimian checking off. Again, it is James Owens from the 3-yard line. Out to the 10, 15. Owens at the 20. We get a flag down at the 25, 30. Up across the 40-yard line and almost to midfield, but it's going to be called back. Or a big chunk of it anyway. Two penalty markers thrown at the 20.
A real big chunk is going to be called back because I'm sure it was clipping. And that's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
Brings up another point. You know, the new rule this year about blocking above the waist and kick returns and all. You in favor of all that?
Well, it makes it very difficult for kick returns in that situation because when the coverage men are coming down the field, it's a very tough block in the open field. And the only alternative...
Personal foul, clipping number 38 on the run back, first down.
And what happens after the return blocker makes his initial block, he can only do one of two things. He either has to let him go or he has to hold him or clip him. And I think we're going to see fewer long returns.
Afternoon getting longer for the San Francisco 49ers. That penalty moves the ball back to the 8-yard line. DeBerg comes out throwing. He hits Schumann at the 25. Young man who was picked up on waivers as a free agent.
But again, was another play fake. Schumann just came in on a slant and caught the ball between the corner and the safety on that side. The 49ers have been successful on their first down passes, like the Saints have been successful on their first down runs, as we see O.J. Simpson looking on from the sideline.
First and 10, San Francisco at their 26. Again, DeBerg back to throw it. Rifles it to Schumann one more time. That looks like another first down at the 38-yard line. Myers and borderline.
That's a pass that they hit about 7 times against the Rams last week. They put a man in motion outside of Schumann, and then Schumann comes inside on a hooking pattern. That's their favorite pass pattern right there.
2 plays, 2 first downs for San Francisco from their 38. Schumann wide to the right side, the rest of the tee in tight. Francis out to the 45-yard line. Rookie running back. Third period, still Tampa Bay over Los Angeles, 21-6.
Francis is from Stanford. He played at Stanford University for Coach Bill Walsh.
Second down. 49ers need 3 for the first down. Simpson back in there. O.J. across the 50 to the 48-yard line. 49ers have moved the ball into the Saints end of the field. Grooms making the stop.
The 49ers look very determined here. We see O.J. coming off the field now. O.J. hasn't really practiced a lot with this team this year, and Coach Walsh, as he's telling him here, he uses them more in the running downs and then takes them out on passing downs.
First and 10. And before we get the playoff, time expires. That's the end of the third period with the score. The Saints 27, the 49ers 14. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Monday on The White Shadow, an angry youth turns the team against Coach Reeves when he labels him a bigot.
If Albert don't play, then we ain't gonna play.
Starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
Duke. Too soon. Huh? Yeah, later.
Mike Labor along with John Madden in San Francisco. Sun-drenched crowd of somewhere in the area of 50,000 on hand to watch the 49ers and the Saints do battle. We go into the final period of play now. 1st and 10, San Francisco at the Saints 48. The blitz is on, and DeBerg gets it away. Solomon is out there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Filton of the New Orleans Saints. Ball just seemed to hang up in the air a little bit.
He hung it up too long, and that was a great interception by Felton. The Saints were in a red dog. They brought both of their outside linebackers. Solomon ran a nice pattern. It was the same pattern that he'd scored a touchdown earlier on. It was a post corner. He starts into the post. Felton started in with him. Solomon planted and came back to the outside, but the ball was thrown short. And Felton did a great job of coming back and coming up with the interception.
Saints' Pat Hughes was blitzing on the play and really got taken out. So the Saints take over at the 18-yard line. 49ers had begun to mount a drive. Muncie and Galbraith back of Archie Manning. Galbraith, who has had a very busy afternoon, carries to the 21-yard line, pickup of 3 in the play. Still in the 4th period, Miami now 24-9 over the Chicago Bears. Muncie's moving up on 100 yards rushing. He's got 92 in 15 carries, and Galbraith has 65 in 18 carries. 2nd and 7. 4th period. Eagles leading the Giants. It'll be a long year for the Giants, looks like. Archie Manning out to the tight end. Childs trying to field the ball at the 45-yard line. Well covered by Dan Bunce.
That was Dan Bunce, the middle linebacker. Again, that was that double zone coverage the 49ers have been using, where, again, the corners and safeties are on the outside receivers, leaving the middle open. Archie again tried to get to it, this time with his tight end, Henry Childs, and Dan Bunce, the middle linebacker, is a guy that has to get deep in that deep middle zone of the field, and he did it.
3rd down 7 from the 21. Seattle over Denver. 34-31. That's in the 3rd period. Pressure on Manning. Gets it away in time, and see, was he in bounds? I believe he was.
Yeah, he was in bounds. And
that's Tinker Owens.
That's one thing, that pressure doesn't bother Archie Manning. You talk about a quarterback having poise and confidence. He has sure shown it today. Tinker Owens catches the ball. You can see his feet are in the air, and he's driven out by the defender, which means that the ball is inbound. Had he stepped out on his own, of course, it would have been out of bounds.
Owens now in the ball game, filling in for Wes Chandler, who was injured earlier. 1st and 10. Saints at their 31-yard line. They'd like nothing better than to run the clock down a bit now. Get a long drive going. Manning sideline throw. Ike Harris, number 82, the intended receiver. Cornelius was back defending.
That one took off on him. I know the Saints are thinking here that they have to control the ball. They need some first downs, and there's still plenty of time to go. With 13 minutes, 17 seconds, a lot of things can still happen. The Saints realize this, and they know that they just can't go and run every play. They need first down.
2nd and 10. Dick Nolan shouting something to his troops. Bill Walsh on the near side. Saints at their 31-yard line. Muncie, running room, out to about the 35. It'll be 3rd down and 7 as Buns made the stop on Muncie.
That was a draw. Again, a draw is a delay play. Archie Manning starts back like he's going to pass, and then he hands to Muncie on a delayed play in the middle. I've always liked the draw, and I like it in that situation, 2nd and long. I never liked it on 3rd and long because it's kind of a give-up play.
Come on, Steve!
3rd down. Saints need 5. Make it 6 for the first down. Manning again back to throw. Being pursued by Board. Gets the pass away. Muncie out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Everything's in order. That should be enough for the first down, but there is a flag.
There's a penalty on the play. That play was a mix-up. It was either supposed to be a fake run and a pass, or it was supposed to be a running play. I really didn't see too many people downfield, although...
Well, they had one downfield wasn't supposed to be there.
Although that's what the penalty, they had one down there that didn't belong there. And I would think that maybe that was a running play. Archie didn't get the handoff. Someone went the wrong way, and then he had to start running with it, and he threw it.
Ineligible downfield on the pass, number 79. Offense, still third down.
Thank you, Mr. Jorgensen. That's Emmanuel Sanders, who was down there where he wasn't supposed to be.
Well, those guards don't get to get down there much.
They get excited.
Oh, yeah, they do. You never know. Maybe they get to catch a pass. The official doesn't see it. They talk about it the rest of their lives.
That's true. Third down, 16. Tinker Owens is wide to the right side. Ike Harris is flanked to the left. Galbraith dropped at the 27-yard line, about the original line of scrimmage, really. Buns, 57. Hardman, 86, running him down. And on comes the punter, Rick Partridge.
Archie had that real long yardage, and he didn't want to force anything deep with a chance of an interception, so he took the dump off, get whatever he can, and then let the defense play.
.45 left in the game. Nice job of fielding the poor snap. Their catch signaled and made by Tony Dungy, number 27. And the 49ers will take over at the 43-yard line when we come back to play in 1 minute.
Some guys never learn. They're still taking it on the chin. Gotcha. Norelco offers the Norelco rotary razor. Not 1 or 2 blades, but 36 blades inside 3 adjustable floating heads and a unique shaving angle for a very close shave without a nick or cut. So say hello to the Norelco rotary razor and say goodbye to Gotcha.
You know, all the leading pain relievers are tablets, so why does Stanback still make a powder? Well, it's because Stanback is a powder that it works so fast. You see, Stanback is already dissolved when you take it. I simply mix it in water just like instant coffee, and it goes to work fighting pain, even inflammation and fever, fast. The time was, powders were all people took for pain relief. Now tablets are more popular, but when you're suffering from pain, what do you want? You want popularity or fast pain relief?
Stanback powders, an idea whose time has come back.
Now, does that man look like a wide receiver? An old
R.C. Owens, and he was a great one. We were talking about the alley-oop earlier. There's the man that made the alley-oop famous. He doesn't look like an alley-oop receiver. He looks like a tackle now.
Or an ex-coach.
Or an ex-coach, right.
First and 10, 49ers at their 42-yard line. Steve DeBerg with a rainbow intended for Solomon, and Solomon made the catch before losing his balance and going out of bounds at the 21-yard line. That was pretty.
That was pretty, and that's one instance where throwing the ball short is effective. You can see here that he was really pretty well covered. The ball was thrown short. Freddie just stopped and came back and caught it. As a corner, as he was trying to turn, he slipped.
Eric Felton back there defending this play, picked up 38 yards.
You don't like the ball thrown short, but that's one time that it wasn't. It was very successful and effective.
Solomon has caught 5 for 105. First and 10, 49ers. 21-yard line of the Saints. San Francisco coming back. Solomon at the 15-yard line. His 6th reception of the day, tackled by Clarence Chapman, number 24.
If the 49ers get a score here, as we watch Scott DeBerg just receiving a play from Coach Bill Walsh, it can make the game very, very interesting, and that missed extra point on the first one of the Saints by Gary Yepremian will be a big, big play.
Paul Hofer, number 36, has come into the San Francisco backfield. and 10 from the 15-yard line. DeBerg back to throw it. Rifles a bullet over the head of everybody. Solomon was the nearest man to it. Freddie must be getting a little weary.
Well, he isn't, but they're running that same play that they had success with, and it's a hook, and he's throwing it right to the cameraman on this play, but he was trying to get a hook to Solomon in the end zone. I never did like that in the end zone. I always wanted to have running patterns, moving crosses and corners and so on, and not hooks in the end zone. That's a tough pass.
Third down. They still need 4 for the first down. Wide open is Paul Seal at the 5-yard line, and Seal is dragged out of bounds at about the 2. Ex-New Orleans Saint tight end.
Seal's down there at the same play Wes Chandler was. As we watch this play again, he just ran a crossing pattern. They sent the receivers deep. They brought Paul Seal across the field underneath.
That's good for 12 yards on a San Francisco first down at the 2-yard line. 10:40 left in the game. Saints leading 27-14. Young Steve DeBerg looking over the Saints defensive alignment. Pitches to Hofer, and Hofer crashes into the end zone for the touchdown. Paul Hofer. Good block by Ken McAfee, number 81, the tight end.
Paul Hofer came back for the first time this week. He had missed the first 3 games. He played a little against Minnesota. He had a pulled muscle in the preseason, a pulled hamstring. He came in the game against Minnesota and pulled the other muscle. So he had both hamstrings pulled. This is his first game back, and he gets a big touchdown for the 49ers.
Wurzing to try the extra point. Joe Montana will hold. 27-21. 58-yard touchdown drive, 5 plays. And things are going to get interesting here at Candlestick, so don't go away. We'll be back in 1 minute.
You survey where the land is wild and unforgiving, filling in empty places on maps that until now have been almost unknown. But now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life.
If you got the time, we've got the beer. Miller Beer.
Miller Beer.
Take care of your car at Kmart.
Your Kmart Automotive Center has the answer to your muffler problem. The zinc-coated, double-wrapped Kmart Arrestor muffler. Have it installed by Kmart, and if anything goes wrong, they'll replace it free, as long as you own your American-made car. The Arrestor. Zinc-coated and double-wrapped like the best. And best of all, Kmart price. Get it at Kmart Automotive Centers across the USA, where quality auto products are Kmart priced.
It's the World Series of Golf. Next Saturday and Sunday, the best of world-class players shoot for the title in the World Series of Golf. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
These are National League Baseball scores this afternoon involving the teams in contention, Cincinnati and Houston. Particularly a big one. Wershing kicking off. Rich Monty a yard deep in the end zone. He'll run it out. 15, 20, 20, 25, 30. Owens trying to run him down, and it is Owens, the UCLA hurdler, who makes the tackle at the 36-yard line.
That was a big play for the Saints as we watch Ray Wershing here kicking out of the infield dirt. And he really didn't have any trouble planting his foot in that as he got it off in a good kick and into the end zone.
You would think you'd have a little trouble or traction, huh?
You would, and they don't like to kick from the dirt. A kicker likes to either kick from artificial turf or low-cut grass, but they don't like to kick from the dirt. But it didn't bother Ray Wershing on that one.
Saints first and 10 at their 36-yard line. 49er fans imploring the defense to hold them now. And they've had trouble keeping Archie Manning in check. Manning, big rush, sets up the screen to Muncy. Muncy at the 45-yard line. And he could have gone a lot further had not Scott Hilton, number 55.
That was
got hold of his ankles.
A great play by Scott Hilton. This was a screen. They started off a play fake. They faked the run to the right to Muncy. Then Muncy came back to the left and took the screen pass. But Scott Hilton, number 55, made a great tackle because he was the only one out there.
Muncy could have gone a long way. Hilton is an interesting story. Didn't play college football. Signed as a free agent. Had a tryout with the Eagles. 2nd and 1 after the pickup of 9 yards in the last play. Saints at their 44, and Galbraith has enough for the first down out to the 47-yard line. That's a American League Baseball score. California leading Texas in the 7th inning as the Angels try to hang on to first place in the American League West. Hilton played semi-pro football in Pennsylvania. And that's how he got his opportunity with the Eagles last year. 1st and 10. Saints at their 47. Nice fake to Muncy. Archie looks over the middle. Ike Harris loses the ball. But they rule it an incompleted pass. It's ruled incomplete. Charles Cornelius, number 28, came up with it.
That's going to be a big break for the Saints right here. They've had a lot of success hitting the middle of the 49er defense. It looked like to me that Ike Harris had that ball, had control of it, and was running with it when he was hit. But the official said no, that he didn't. And we're going to see it here again on replay. He hits Harris there in the middle. He has it. He was bringing it down. He had control of it up on top, it looked like. It looked like as he was bringing it down, he may have fumbled it. The 49er fans are upset.
2nd and 10. Saints at their 47-yard line. 49er fans really making a lot of racket. Here's a blitz on Archie Manning. He gets it away. Downfield it is. Caught at the 10-yard line. It'll be first down as Henry Childs makes a great catch.
A great catch and a great throw. The linebackers were coming, plus the safety. The strong safety came on that play. He had man-to-man coverage, and as you can see, Henry Childs makes a great catch right over his shoulder, reaching out, fully extended, and Tony Dungy finally makes the tackle.
That play covered 45 yards, and the officials will mark it at the 7-yard line. 1st and goal to go.
The man that was supposed to cover him, Tim Gray, blitzed on the play. The weak safety, Tony Dungy, had to pick him up and cover him man-to-man.
Owens wide to the right side. Ike Harris flank to the left. 1st and goal from the 7. It is Muncy over the left side to the 6-yard line. 1 yard, and that's it. Dungy, number 27, the ex-Pittsburgh Steeler, making the stop along with Buns. With a long, hard, warm afternoon for Chuck Muncy.
Again, Scott Hilton was in there, and he met the pulling guard right in the hole that didn't allow a hole for Chuck Muncy.
It'll be 2nd and goal from the 6. Bill Walsh looks on.
Getting a little grayer.
Fans still reacting to that call on the drop pass. Strong down to about the 2-yard line. Mike Strong. Oh, I could just see it would have been you on that 49er sideline instead of you'd be pacing up and down right now. That blue shirt would be flapping in the breeze.
I'd still be on that one, but I wouldn't be up at midfield. I'd be down there about the 10, working my way out towards the pitcher's mound.
That's right. There were no boundaries for you, were there?
No, and those officials were happy when I retired. There's Dick Nolan, and he's pretty happy now. I'll tell you, there's a great guy.
3rd down, goal to go from the 2-yard line. Galbraith trying to get over, and no indication yet. He's close.
They're going to mark it short of the goal line.
He's inside the 1-yard line. Ron Schumann making the stop, stopping Galbraith.
Galbraith is upset. He thought he had it, and he wanted it. That's about as close as you can get without being in.
All right, you're about to see some pro football history possibly being made here. Garo Yepremian is on for a field goal try. He makes this. It's his 17th straight. And that would be a new NFL mark going back to last year. He currently is tied with Jan Stenerud of Kansas City and Don Cockcroft of Cleveland, who each had 16 field goals in a row. Last week in his first game, he did not get a shot at it. Now Euphraimium's coming off the field.
What he wants to do is he doesn't want to kick that field goal off the pitcher's mound. I'm sure he's trying to get another shoe. You know, we talked about Ray Wersching's kickoff from the end zone. We can from the infield. We can see here that Garrow is attempting this all-important field goal in his career, and he wants to make sure that his right foot, which is his plant foot, is able to plant on that pitcher's mound.
And this
so
will be like an extra
timeout.
This will be like an extra point, really, where the ball is situated. A little less, really, there.
It's a little closer. It's about 1.5 yards closer than an extra point. And for Garrow's sake, I hope he gets it. I had the opportunity to coach him in the Pro Bowl a couple times. I remember one year when we won the Pro Bowl. In fact, Tom Landry from Dallas was coaching the NFC, and we scored 12 points, and they were all field goals by Garo Euphraimian.
They'll put it down at the 8, which will make it an 18-yard attempt. It's good, and he's got the record. Garo Euphraimian on his first field goal attempt as a New Orleans Saint connects from 18 yards out and has just set a new NFL record, 17 consecutive field goals.
I can feel chills, and I think I'm more emotional and happier about it than Garo looked. He was very cool and calm after he kicked it.
This is Stop Thief, a computerized cops and robbers game where an electronic crime scanner gives you clues
Door.
to catch an invisible thief.
A broken window.
Footsteps.
In Stop Thief, when you think you know where the thief is, make the arrest.
Here come the cops.
I think he got him.
9-volt battery not included. Stop Thief, an electronic cops and robbers game, new from Parker Brothers.
Searching for oil here in the U.S. had gotten harder and harder. We laid miles of heavy seismic cable just about everywhere we could. Then, Phillips came up with a new way to search, using portable units like this. It works in mountains, swamps, hundreds of places too hard to search before. So soon, this country may be crawling with crews like ours, looking for oil here at home to replace some that's now being bought from foreign countries.
Phillips Petroleum. Good things for cars and the people who drive them.
Saints have padded their lead now to 30-21. Euphraimian getting ready to kick off. 5:56 left to play in the game. Squibs it. Farrell picking it up at the 30-yard line, 35 up to the 39. It'll be 1st and 10 from that point. Do you have any argument with Nolan going for the field goal in that situation?
No. I think maybe if they had had the extra point earlier, maybe he would have gone on 4th down. But I think when you get that, when you're only 6 points ahead, I think you have to get over that hurdle first. And it was a very intelligent decision by Dick Nolan. As I said earlier, I have a lot of respect for that man. The year we went to the Super Bowl, he was our scout. He scouted our next opponent for us and was a great help.
1st and 10. 49ers at their 39. DeBerg comes out throwing. Schumann. Sideline throw to the 46-yard line. Picked up 7 on the play. Clarence Chapman on the stop. I was talking about Euphraimian's record. I'm sure it didn't hurt that that field goal attempt was 18 rather than, say, 48 yards.
That's something I bet he'd been thinking about for a long time, because when you get close to a record, you know that you're going to have to kick it pretty soon, and you have no control over what the distance is going to be.
Certainly. Could have been a 50-yarder for that matter. 2nd down, 3. Simpson. Close for the 1st down. Looks about a yard shy at the 49-yard line. You know, I was a little surprised as we look at this play again about some of the comments that appeared in a local paper this morning by Bill Walsh, the 49er coach. He didn't mention any names, but he said things like, We have an aging running back who we have to prop up every week, and we don't have a quality quarterback. That's very uncoach-like.
I know it. You would think that that was something that he probably said earlier in the week or in a moment when he was relaxed, and he really didn't mean to say it, nor did he mean to have it come out the day of the game.
Kind of jumps at you, though, in the newspaper. 3rd down and a yard. And DeBerg is going for all of it. Downfield to Schumann, makes a great catch. We get a flag thrown.
That's going to be offensive interference.
If that is, boy, they're going to boo until you never hear the end of it.
Yeah, it is offensive interference.
The penalty is against the 49ers and will wipe out the gain, and wait till you hear the boos as soon as they announce this. Collision down there involving Tommy Myers and Schumann, the intended receiver, before the ball came down.
Here we have a good shot of it right here. You can see Schumann backed in and knocked Myers over. Myers had position. Once a defender gets position, he doesn't have to get out of the way to let the receiver by.
Dick Jorgensen, the referee.
Interference, number 84, offense, still 3rd down.
Well, they had 3rd and 1 a moment ago. Now it is 3rd down, 11. Let's bring you up to date on the Dolphins and the Bears. That is now over. Miami has won it 31-16. Our score 30-21. Saints 4:20. On 3rd and 11, DeBerg over the middle. Solomon first down at the 50, 45, 40. Freddie Solomon out of bounds. 33-yard line. Oh, he can move.
Freddie Ken, you know, he was a great athlete at Tampa University. He was a quarterback, and he was a fine quarterback. He could do it all. He'd throw it and run it and catch it and kick it and do everything with it.
He played a little quarterback for the 49ers last year in their last game when they got everybody hurt.
Last year he did, and he made things exciting then as a quarterback, and he's making things exciting right here as a receiver and runner after he catches it.
28 yards on the gain and a first down at the 34. 49ers trying to put one on the board quickly here. Francis out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Well, they're also conserving time here by going out of bounds and not utilizing their timeouts. 4:05 left in the game. Chapman and Bordelon on the stop.
Randy Cross led that play, the right guard, Randy Cross, and he made a good block on the corner, springing Francis loose.
There's the time left in the game, with the Saints leading 30-21. Going for their first victory of the season. Bill Walsh of the 49ers still after his first NFL victory. 2nd down, 3. From the 27, DeBerg back to throw it over the middle, complete for the first down. Nope, he had it and he dropped it.
He did, he had it, he dropped it, and he tried to sneak it back in. Paul Seal did. Again, it was a play fake. He faked to the fullback up the middle to hold the middle linebacker, brought Paul Seal on an in, and he had the ball. He lost it, then he tried to sneak it back in, but the official was in good position and saw it.
3rd and 3. This is kind of a gray area. What do you call here, run or pass?
I would run and get the first down.
49ers at the 27-yard line of New Orleans. Both teams have picked up a lot of yardage today. DeBerg into heavy traffic, and it's picked off by Don Schwartz. Schwartz at the 10-yard line. Knocked out at the 20 by Francis, and the Saints take over. I guess he should have taken your advice.
Well, they brought in their short yardage offense, and they tried to run again a play fake where they faked the run across the backfield and then throw. You hope that it fools the defense, but it didn't fool them at all, and they had good coverage.
This bud's for every man who works with fire and steel.
This bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
Buds for you.
Radio Shack has slashed the price on one of our top-of-the-line stereo systems. Right now, save $310 on this impressive realistic hi-fi. You get this quality AM/FM stereo receiver, a pair of realistic tower speakers, and this precision belt drive turntable, all for only $579. A great entertainment bargain and a beautiful addition to your home. The sale price realistic stereo system, just $579, only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
They call him the Fiddler. His target, women alone. He's the death car on the freeway. Shelley Hack and George Hamilton star in the Tuesday night movie at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
Here's another track meet for you. Denver leading Seattle 37-34 in the fourth period. Seattle once led 34-10 in that game. In Philadelphia and the Giants have scored. Make that one a little closer. At Denver-Seattle game, Craig Morton has thrown 3 touchdown passes in less than 3 minutes. It's not bad.
That's something. Seattle's never beaten Denver.
First and 10. Saints at the 20-yard line after DeBerg's second interception of the afternoon. Archie Manning handing off to Mike Strong. Strong, a fresh running back in there, carries it out to the 23. Prior to this series of downs, the Saints have 508 yards, net yards, total offense, and Manning 20 out of 28, 355 yards.
The whole Saint offense has been impressive today, but Archie Manning has really impressed me. I had a long talk with him yesterday on the sideline as we were watching practice, and what a guy he is. He's a super person and a great athlete.
Second down, 6 at the 23-yard line. Just over 3 minutes left to play in the game. Again, Strong. Saints obviously trying to run the clock down at this point. Sit on this 9-point advantage that they have. Ron Schumann, number 50, makes the stop.
There's Archie Manning. I'm sure that he's proud of his day, and I'm sure that the Saints coaches and players and the fans are very proud of his day.
Pro Bowl quarterback last year, NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Made many polls. And he's starting off this season just as he did last. There's no question that the Saints will be the #1 offensive team in the National Football League after this week, statistically anyway. Third down. Muncie content to hang on to the football there, get a little bit of yardage out to the 25. Saints will have to punt it. 2:09 left, and the 49ers will use a timeout here.
49ers want to take a timeout, so they'll stop the clock now, and then after the punt return, the clock stops on change of possession, and then after first down, they'll get the 2-minute warning. So what they'd like to do is get one score here. Now that score can either be a field goal or a touchdown, then go for an onside kick and try and get another one. 2 minutes and 9 seconds with all your timeouts left is still a lot of football. The 49ers are still in this game, and in their games this year, they've had a history of coming back.
Archie Manning spending the timeout with Dick Nolan. Not much that Dick can tell Archie at this point.
Archie's upset. Archie's upset. That third down play, he called a trap to Chuck Muncie, and he was hoping that he'd pop it through there, that the 49ers would be playing pass and rushing, and he'd be able to get a trap in there and hit it, and it didn't go. And he wanted to get a first down and keep the ball, not give it to the 49ers.
Rick Partridge. Not the most impressive average on the afternoon. One of his kicks, though, was a beauty that he put out of bounds at the 5. That's high and also short. Fair catch is signaled. And then not made. Really should have made the fair catch there. Ball rolled to the 40-yard line.
I think his own men got in his way. He called for the fair catch, and he tried to get up in there, and he couldn't do anything about it.
That was Tony Dungy trying to field that punt. We'll be back at Candlestick in just a moment.
This Bud's for everyone who helps put food on the table.
This Bud's for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this Bud's for you.
It's Ford Truck Week, the biggest clearance offer in Ford truck history. The best-selling trucks of the 70s must make way for the new 80 Ford trucks. Previously announced factory incentives to Ford dealers make lower prices possible so you can save hundreds on tough Ford V8 pickups, tough Ford V8 vans, tough Ford Broncos and Rancheros too. Save hundreds on the best-selling trucks of the 70s until the introduction of the 80s. See your Ford dealer now during Ford Truck Week.
Mike Lieber with John Madden back at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. 49ers with a 1st and 10 at their 40-yard line. They have 2 timeouts left. So do the Saints. We have 1:58 remaining in the ball game, and the Saints leading it by 9 and seemingly in pretty good shape right now.
Well, I don't know. I think they'd feel a lot better if it were 10 or 14. But the 49ers, again, have to get 2 scores. 2 minutes is a lot of time, and it's possible to get that and then go for the onside kick. They wanted the fair catch because then they would have had an extra timeout.
DeBerg leads him up to the line of scrimmage. He hasn't had a bad day either. 16 out of 28, 233 yards. Takes it to Jackson and gives it to Jackson. Jackson takes it to the 50-yard line. A pickup of 10. Got enough for the first down. I thought he was faking it.
That's an interesting draw. On that draw, that's the old Cleveland Brown draw that Paul Brown designed for Jimmy Brown. DeBerg goes beyond Jackson and hands it to him in front of him.
Here's DeBerg rolling out, trying to throw it. Fires it downfield, intended for Schumann, incomplete at the 35-yard line. Clarence Chapman was back there defending. Of course, Bill Walsh sends in the plays from the bench. He's got a young quarterback. I guess you can see that. What's your thoughts generally on a quarterback calling his own plays?
I always had my quarterback call his own plays. I like the play to come from within the huddle. There's a difference when you have the players out there on the other side of the stripes. They're the guys that are playing, that are doing it, and I always like that play to come from within that group where it was theirs.
Regardless of how young the quarterback might be. Right. 3rd down. 49ers now got to worry about the first down. They need a yard to pick up the first. And some confusion in that backfield. Linville Elliott starts in motion. Jackson picks up the first down, fights his way to the 45 in the Saints end of the field, but that clock's still moving with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go.
DeBerg has to call his own plays here because he's not huddling up. He's calling them on the line of scrimmage.
Drops it off to Jackson, and Jackson can't hold it. That could have been the classic case of footsteps there with Schwartz standing in his way.
Well, it stopped the clock. That's not the way they wanted to stop the clock, though, I'm sure. But now they're able to get a play in from the sideline. They were going without a huddle in their hurry-up offense. And now there's a case where the quarterback, Steve DeBerg, had to call his own play. Here, he's just been sent in a play.
Late scores, Tampa Bay clinging to that 21-6 lead over Los Angeles now in the 4th period. Been that way since halftime, and Denver still leading Seattle by 3. 2nd and 10. DeBerg needs a score here. Hofer at the 40-yard line, down to the 35, to 30. Hofer run out of bounds at the 19. First down with 56 seconds to go for the 49ers.
Both of these quarterbacks have been impressive in 3rd down situations. I was always amazed at that and impressed by quarterbacks that could complete a pass, keep their poise, again, when everyone knew they had a thrower. In this situation where they're behind and they have to make a play.
Officials will mark it at the 20. It'll be 1st and 10, San Francisco at the Saint 20. Saints leading 30-21 with less than a minute to go. Here come the 49ers. DeBerg sending Solomon a couple of yards off to the right side. That's Schumann going in motion. Take to Hofer. DeBerg to Solomon. Down to the 15, maybe the 14-yard line, but time certainly a factor here.
Now, an interesting situation is coming up here. The 49ers need 2 scores.
They need 1 quick.
As they take a timeout. Now, it's not bad right here to go for your field goal. because you need 2 anyway. They need 10 points. They need a 3 and a 7 or a 7 and a 3. Now, if they take the field goal here, then they can try an onside kick. If they get the onside kick, then they still have time to go for the touchdown. If they waste too much time here trying for the touchdown, then they aren't going to have time for the onside kick and another chance.
You saying they ought to try the field goal before they go for the 2nd and 3rd downs?
Yes. If I were doing it, I'd kick the field goal right now.
2nd down. 49ers need a little less than 5 for the 1st down with the ball at the 15. Our thanks, by the way, to our spotter, Bob Coffey, and our statistician, Ken Flower, for their assistance here at Candlestick Park. Beautiful day. This is where the ulcers start flaring a little bit, isn't it, for coaches along about this time of the ball game?
This is where they're developed and nurtured.
Our producer this afternoon, Tom O'Neill, and our director, Duke Struck, who is directing Hurt with a cast on his wrist after he fell off his motorcycle. Our associate producer, Wally Miller, and our manager of field operations, our good old friend, Brooks Graham, who's been around longer than football.
Well, that's one thing about Duke. He'll go when he's hurt.
Duke needs your diet, I think.
Duke and DeBerg.
2nd down. 5 for the 1st down. 49ers. From the St. 15, they need a touchdown. Over the middle, it is intercepted. Myers picks it off at the 5-yard line and run out of bounds at the 18. And I think you can turn out the lights. Should have kicked the field goal, right?
Well, that would have been a good move because, again, they needed 2. Steve DeBerg would like to have this one back. He just threw it a little short to the inside, and Myers was right there for the interception. And for all intent and purposes, that finishes the 49ers off for the day. Bill Walsh is down there in the sideline explaining it to him now.
35 seconds to go. DeBerg will wind up 18 out of 33 for 263 yards. 3 interceptions on the afternoon.
He's giving him a lecture there, and I'm sure he'll have a little more for him tomorrow. But again, the 49ers are young, and they're coming, but they're exciting. They're always going to play an exciting football game.
They can move the ball. They've showed that. Saints simply content to run out the clock here. The 49ers still have a timeout left, and they're going to use it here with 31 seconds to go. I could say that Walsh probably wishes he was back at Stanford, but the year they're having, maybe he doesn't wish that either, right?
Yeah, Stanford was beaten by Army yesterday. My old friend Lou Saban. There's Dick Nolan, and he's happy. You know, a year ago they started here with the win against the 49ers, and that was a propeller for him for a great season, for a good season for Dick. And we were talking yesterday, and he was hoping that maybe the same thing could happen this year, and it could very well, because today is the start of it. They got their first victory, and he'd like to use that momentum to go on from here.
2nd down, 11. Archie just going to play hang on. Manning, by the way, 20 out of 28, 355 yards. Chandler, 4 catches, 127, leading the way. This is where you bury yourself in the pennant. That's right.
That's right. You just put it right over your eyes, and you don't have to watch the end of it.
That's right. Also outstanding for the Saints this afternoon, Muncie, 98 yards rushing and 18 carries. Galbraith, 66 in 19. And on the receiving end, Schumann, 7 catches, 138 yards for San Francisco, and Solomon with 8 catches for 143. That's it. Saints have their first victory of the year. Got to be a happy moment for them.
It's happy for Dick and his players, and you can see there's a guy who I always had a great deal of respect for. We played each year when he was here with the San Francisco 49ers, and then again, as I said, the year between his 49er year and his first year with the Saints, he was sitting out of football, and I needed someone to scout our next opponent, and I talked to Dick about it, and he did it, and he was great for us. And we only went to the Super Bowl once when I was the head coach, and that was the year that this man right here was scouting for us, and I've always had the greatest respect in the world for him.
There's our final score, New Orleans 30, San Francisco 21. This is Frank Lieber for John Madden saying so long from Candlestick Park in San Francisco. Next week on the CBS Sports Spectacular, it's more of the world's strongest men competition. The 1979 Canoe Kayak World Championships from Quebec and the Pacific Gymnastics Championships, all next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
This is CBS.